You see that?
Well, this is a special treat. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking the time to join us here today.
Well, thank you for having me, Rhonda. Obviously, Sharon feeds me quite well and takes good care of me. I'm happy to help celebrate her retirement. Truth is, she probably could have retired years ago if she didn't sink so much money into me and her horse hobby.
Being Sharon's horse and getting to spend lots of one-on-one time with her probably allows you to get to know her pretty well.
Oh, for sure. When we are out on a ride or even when we are hanging out in the barn, she shares lots of her deepest feelings and secrets with me.
Interesting. Does she ever talk about any of her co-workers?
Oh yes, all the time. Her Articat family is important to her. Certainly I know that her very most favorite co-worker is Mark Blair. She hired Mark and was his boss for a while when he started with Articat over 20 years ago. They have both since filled various roles in accounting, and recently Mark became Sharon's boss. She was so happy. She just goes on and on and on about Mark and how wonderful he is. It honestly gets a little sickening to listen to day after day. I've never even met the guy. He must really be something special.
Well, that's weird. I don't think anyone around here would have guessed that. It is good that you were able to make it here today and share things like this that no one else knows. Are there others she talks about?
There are many. Really too many to list, and I couldn't possibly remember all their names. She seems to have made many friends at Articat. You know, I think Sharon's job can be tough, in that she has to question things and call out unnecessary expenses, but it sounds like she got along well with everyone, even the crazy marketing people. She has been involved with budgets for so many years that we have lots of interesting people and things to talk about. Articat sure seems to be a whole lot different place than the farm where we live.
Certainly many of us here consider her a good friend, and not just someone we work with. She's really good-hearted and easy to like.
No doubt about that. She is very caring and giving. She's involved with her church and has taught Sunday school over the years. She also is involved with Trails to Treatments, which helps people who battle cancer, and she's a member of the Marshall County Mounted Posse, giving of her time and resources. I help too, and we've been called out to help law enforcement in search and rescue operations. I know many of you think a snowmobile, an ATV, or an ROV is the best way to get around off-road. But in some situations, a horse is best. I'm glad Sharon bought me and puts me to use. But she likes riding Articats too. She even raced her snowmobile in the Goodrich 100 and won a great big trophy. I think she is probably a better snowmobile rider than a horse rider.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yep, you know, I really can't keep track of all she does to help others. It is clearly evident that Sharon is a good person, but she does admit to me that she can lose her temper, and her language can get a little inappropriate at times. I've even seen it firsthand.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like about a year ago or so she tells me something, or about once a year, she tells me something that sets her off at work. Tim Delmore, her boss, for so many years would certainly press her buttons once in a while. And I'm not so sure about any of the rest of the people in her department either. I think maybe they can be a bad influence in many ways.
You're probably right. I don't know what goes on that department.
She told me a story from a few years ago, back when reports were all printed on a big, ginormous printer. Some inventory reports could be a couple feet high. These reports were big and therefore pretty hard to misplace. So it was surprising when a very important inventory report went missing, right at a crucial time during the year-end audit. After weeks of frustration, the report was found being used as a footstool by a consultant. It was tore up and had dirt and mud all over it. I guess Sharon got pretty steamed and used up quite a few swear words throughout the whole ordeal. Like lots of swear words. Seriously. Even though she was so sweet and nice, she could cuss once in a while.
I was talking to Kate earlier, and it sounds like she's similar to that at home. She can get upset, but the person she gets upset with usually has it coming.
Yep, I agree. One time she swore at one of her other horses when she got bucked off and thrown into a gate. It wasn't me that did it, thank goodness. I think that horse might have been one that she bought from the Sky Ranch. She was all bruised up and hobbled around like an old retired bull rider for a while. She said some of her co-workers made fun of her.
I know she's very, very proud of her family and loves them very much.
She does for sure. Her husband Steve is pretty lucky. Sharon was homecoming queen back in 1971. I'm guessing Steve had some competition when trying to catch her. She was hot. Steve was pretty rough around the edges, and that is what Sharon likes, I guess. She mutters to me all the time about how she hates all the old farm equipment she has scattered around the yard. I guess if that's the worst thing she deals with, she's got it pretty good. He lets her and I go off to North Dakota and look for cute cowboys, so it probably all evens out.
And they have 3 children and now a few grandchildren.
Yeah, these kids and grandkids are very lucky too. Some have made it here today, I think all of them. Her family means so much to her. But to be honest, I think she might love me and the rest of her horses and dogs and cats just as much. She takes good care of all of us. But the grandkids certainly have her heart, and I get a little jealous at times. She's pretty close with her mom and siblings too.
I heard that Steve and Sharon just celebrated a 40th wedding anniversary. Did they have a party?
Oh no, at least not a real tear it up kind of bash. Sharon isn't one to party a whole lot. She was the one that wants a bunch of hoopla and doesn't really like a lot of attention. In fact, this little gathering is probably ticking her off right now. I know she gets pretty nervous when occasionally some of her co-workers call late at night from the bowling alley and want to come over and drink her beer.
That's interesting. Do you think it's because she doesn't like the people? Or is it because she's worried her beer will get all drank up?
She seems to like pretty much everyone. Oh.
She seems to like pretty much everyone. And knowing some of her co-workers, the beer would be gone in no time.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I'm guessing she's mostly worried about her beer. She doesn't drink tons and tons of beer, but she likes having a couple with dinner, especially when grilling out. And drinking beer is a big part of horseback riding too. I bet she would get rid of me if it was socially acceptable to go on a horseback riding trip without a horse just to simply drink the beer. She likes drinking beer around the campfires on her trips. And she likes drinking beer at the Hoba House too. And she likes drinking beer at the lake. She also likes to play bingo sometimes, which I think is just an excuse to drink beer. She has lots of friends she hangs with and drinks beer.
Well, isn't that something? I didn't know she drank so much.
It really isn't much, but she likes beer. No doubt about it. She doesn't drink as much now as she used to back in the old days, though. From some of her stories, it's a wonder how she even remembers anything from the 70s. I guess a bunch of people would sometimes go to St. Clair for lunch and not come back to work until sometime the next day. Probably still drunk. She tells me of parties and shenanigans happening all the time back then. But I think she has settled down now quite a bit. Maybe because she got old.
Oh wow, I know she's always trying to eat healthy now and take care of herself.
She tries and does very well considering how much she likes beer. And don't even get me started on her chocolate addiction.
Oh yeah.
She loves chocolate even more than beer. But she hardly eats any. I'm not sure why. I think she maybe wants to live a long time and enjoy her family, especially her grandkids. One interesting thing about her, though, is her biggest fear in life. You might not believe me, but I assure you, she tells me this all the time, that her biggest fear is her kids moving back home.
Really, that seems a little strange, especially since she is so proud of them and loves them very much.
Yep, I agree. I know them myself, and they're great. But she's more scared of them moving home than even death. But I bet she would have no problem bringing them in if they really needed her.
No doubt. Sharon has some goofy quirks, just like we all do.
Yeah, another one is her ability to attract weirdos wherever she goes. The strangest people in the world seem to want to seek out Sharon and talk to her. But she likes it. Another thing that is different about her is the amount of money and time spent at the dentist. Appointment after appointment. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars put into saving the teeth she was born with.